In Robert Eggers' The Witch, he makes more than just a horror story. He built a slow, simmering portrait of society devoured by its own fears. The movie focuses on the chilling whispers, the stark landscapes, and of course, that goat. Black Phillip, a strange name and an even stranger presence. He stares, he butts, he kills, and by the end, he whispers promises of butterflies and rainbows. But what if I told you that Black Phillip isn't just a creepy farm animal possessed by Satan? What if he's something more? Something fundamentally tied to the collapse of the Puritan family itself. In this video, I'm going to argue that Black Phillip is the symbolic eruption of the suppressed male and female roles within this rigid society, and that the goat is what finally breaks this family apart. So here we are. Let's start with the world these characters inhabit. 1630s Puritan New England wasn't just religious, it was structured. Gender roles were law. Men provided, led, punished. Women served, obeyed, and birthed. Children were extensions of sin waiting to be beaten into grace. And in this world, a family wasn't just emotional. It was a mini church, a site of constant surveillance. And in this movie, The Witch, that pressure is real. The father, William, can't grow food. The mother, Catherine, can't protect her children. And their daughter, Thomasin, is becoming a woman in a world that punishes women for becoming anything. Let's start with William, the father. He is the image of Puritan masculinity. He is prideful and self-righteous, and he leads the family into exile, not out of faith, but by ego. As the crops fail, children disappear, and the family turn on each other, William could only drop more wood until the axe breaks. He can no longer provide or protect, and the father's collapse mirrors the collapse of male authority, something that Black Phillip can fill in for. Black Phillip, a black goat, traditionally a sign of the devil, yes, but also a symbol of untamed masculinity. Look at how William tries to dominate nature, chopping wood, forcing his family into exile because of his pride. But he's important. His crops fail, his prayers go unanswered, and the goat, it lives, it thrives, it butts him. It survives in a way that William cannot. Black Phillip becomes the animal embodiment of a masculinity that no longer fits within the Puritan mold, proud, chaotic, fertile, and fatally threatening. And then there's the mother, Catherine. She sees the family crumbling, and instead of turning outward, she turns on Thomasin, her daughter. Thomasin becomes the scapegoat, the failed woman, the feared woman. But Catherine's breakdown is personal. She's losing all of the structures that gave her purpose, her child, her husband's authority, and even her God. And what does she do in her madness? Hallucinates, suckling a raven instead of a baby. It's not just horrifying, it's symbolic. The womb is empty and the roles are collapsing. And the goat, the unnatural dynamic fertility, is still there, still watching. And then we talk about her babies, the twins. The twins, meanwhile, worship Philip openly. But this isn't just creepy kid stuff, it's rebellion. They mock their parents' pity. They chant his name. And they aren't disciplined, they aren't scared. They play with the devil. In them, the Puritan system has already failed. Discipline and fear aren't working, and the children no longer obey. It's the goat they run to, not God. And then, finally, there's Thomasin. At the heart of all of this, not just caught between her parents, but between womanhood and damnation. The Puritan world offers her no role except subjugation and suspicion. The goat, on the other hand, offers a different path: autonomy, freedom, and even pleasure. It's a false freedom, maybe, but it's a freedom. In killing her mother and joining the witches, Thomasin isn't just choosing evil. She's choosing to exist on her own terms, her own womanhood. The goat isn't just a tempter, he's a representation of all the Puritan society tried to crush. So, some might say Black Phillip is more than the devil, and some might say he's a symbol of resistance. He represents an inner version of everything Puritanism stood for: female power over male control, pleasure over repression, and nature over scripture. He doesn't destroy the family. He reveals the rot already inside of it. In the end, it wasn't a witch that tore this family apart. It was fear, pride, and a black goat who offered something better. What do we make of Black Phillip now? He's not just Satan in disguise. He's the suppressed masculine power William can't weld, the maternal chaos Catherine can't contain, and the childlike disobedience that no longer fears hellfire. He's the system-breaking point, not just its villain. The witch isn't a story of evil entering a good family. It's a story of the cracks that were always there. And the goat, Black Phillip, is what rushes in through those cracks, because something always does. We're not just hearing a temptation through his words. We're hearing the voice of everything that Puritan family tries to repress, and ultimately couldn't. That's not just horror, that's tragedy. And what makes The Witch more than just a scary movie with a creepy goat? It's a dismantling, hoof by hoof, of a world that was already doomed. In most horror, witches are the monster. In The Witch, there's something stranger. Terrifying, yes, but also liberating. They're outside the system. They answer to no father, no husband, no pastor. When Thomasin signs the book, she joins them, not just as a victim of evil, but as a woman choosing selfhood over submission. That doesn't mean it's a happy ending, but it's a clear one. The witches don't save her. They recognize her. The Witch is a story of repression cracking under pressure, not just demonic intrusion. In this world, sin isn't something you do. It's something you are, born into, even trapped inside. And in The Witch, the family doesn't escape it. They pass it on. William's pride leads them into the wilderness. Catherine's grief curdles into suspicion. The twins echo demonic rhymes like nursery songs. And even Thomasin, accused from the start, begins to believe it. There's no outside force corrupting them. They've already internalized the guilt. The devil doesn't break in. He's inherited, like land, like language. Speaking of, what if Black Phillip isn't just a devil, but a creation, not summoned by witches, but conjured by repression? He thrives where the family fails, in silence, in secrecy, and in fear. The parents can't communicate, the children aren't heard, only punished, and the home becomes a pressure cooker of unspoken guilt and rage. And into that silence walks the goat, calm, listening, and ready to offer what God withholds: attention, power, and clarity. The more the family clings to control, the more control they lose. The devil doesn't possess them. He fills the space they've abandoned. Philip doesn't oppose the family. He reflects them. William wants to rule. Philip rules. Catherine wants meaning through motherhood. Philip gives a false baby to nurse. The twins want to play. He plays back. And Thomasin, she wants freedom. And guess what? He offers it, but on his terms. The goat isn't an outsider. He's the system inverted. All its roles twisted just enough to reveal their absurdity. That's why he's seductive, and that's why he wins, because he doesn't fight the system. He shows the characters what they really want from it. And by the end, there's no family, no farm, no faith. Just Thomasin, Black Phillip, and the woods. But this isn't a story of evil conquering good. It's a story of pressure-breaking structure, of roles that can't contain the people forced into them. The devil didn't break this family. He revealed that they were already broken, a world way too rigid to hold their contradictions. Black Phillip is terrifying not because he destroys order, but because he is what comes next when the order was always unsustainable. The goat didn't ruin the family.